proclaim the chaos absolutely overwhelms them. And you just can't deal with someone like that most of the time, because the magnitude of the problem they're facing you with is way beyond your capacity to solve. So it's just awkward. It's not good. Anyways, you say, I was going from point A to point B, didn't work. Now I don't know where I am, I don't know where I'm going, and I'm lost. And you say, well, in my experience when I was in a situation like this, I did this, and I know someone else who in that situation did this, and maybe you could try those. Or maybe you just shut up and you let the person talk. And that's often extremely useful. And the reason you do that is because they're thinking. Because people think they think, but they don't. They talk. Thinking is hard, right? It's a very complex, abstract, cognitive operation. And I don't think that there are many more people who can think than there are people who can really read. And that's probably 2 to 5% of the population at most. And so most of the way that people deal with that is that they talk. And that's their thinking. And so they have some ideas about what might be going on, but they're mixed and muddy. So they're basically throwing out these ideas. Did this happen? Is he like this? Is she like that? It's like, did I do this? It's like, and then they watch you, and if you're nodding about one, they think, oh well, that seems plausible, and they lay out another, and you go, you don't even notice, and they think, no, that's off the table. I didn't think that was a very good idea, but now I've got some social, validation. And soon they talk it out, and instead of having 60 vaguely defined problems, now they have like 5 fairly tightly defined problems. They're feeling a lot better about that, right? Because it's 5 snakes instead of 60. And maybe they can deal with 5 snakes. So you've already helped them a whole bunch just by listening. And then maybe you can be an active listener, and they lay out their story, and you say, well, you said something here that doesn't make any sense with this thing that you said, so, how would you reconcile those? And, it's this dialectical process. And so the person collapses into chaos, and they come and tell you about it, and then you rescue them, if you can, out of the chaos, and then they pop back up the other side. Clinical practice is actually a formalized version of an ideal relationship. So the ideal, you think, what's an ideal relationship? Well, I would say an ideal relationship is where both of you are trying to get better than you are, and you're helping each other do it. It's something like that. And the lines, because, if I have a good relationship with you, I would rather that you're the best you can be. And I would assume that you would also like that for me. I mean, things interfere with that, because you might say, well, if, given how horrible I am, if my partner all of a sudden got a clue, they'd leave, so I better interfere with that as much as I possibly can. And people do that all the time. One of the things they'll do is make sure their partner isn't too attractive. It's like, well, you're so attractive, why are you with someone like me? It's like, I'll criticize you when you look attractive, and that'll fix that. So, and people do that sort of thing all the time. This is the revolutionary story. This is the real story people tell. I was here, I got bloody well knocked off my perch, and then for a while things were not good. And then, I reconfigured myself, I learned some things, I did some exploration, I made some changes, and pooh, off the other side I come. And I'm a better person for it. And if you listen to the way people talk about their pasts, especially with regards to traumatic events, they'll often tell you that. They'll say, well, in retrospect, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. It's like, those are the people who come out the other side, I'll tell you. Because lots of people, they fall into the belly of the beast, and they never come out. You see that in fairy tales sometimes, eh? So there'll be a hero, and he'll conquer some sort of dragon or some sort of monster, and when he cuts it open, a bunch of people will come out. It's like, yeah, they're the ones who got swallowed by the thing. And it isn't until that person comes along and solves the problem that all those other people get to come out. So that's a revolutionary story. It's the archetypal revolutionary story, and it's the story of human progress. So socially, politically, economically,